Hi, this is Wayne Rivers at FBI, where we build better contractors. This week, I want to give you 3 profound questions. Before I get into it, boot camp, February 9 and 10, 2023, get your folks signed up. And I have to have a hat tip to my friend Arlen Sorensen. This comes from his daily blog. I can't imagine doing a daily blog. That is so much work. But I owe this blog entirely to Arlen. So what about this is important to you? Well, this kind of bounces off the Tribe of Millionaires book that I talked about last week. And we talked about purpose, the purpose effect. How do entrepreneurs and business leaders find purpose for themselves and their peers? Is it well, for the benefit of themselves and their peers? Is it internal? Do you find that internally, or do you find it externally? And I don't think it matters. But here are 3 powerful, profound questions for you to think about internally, and also propose to your leadership group in your companies, and also propose to your peers if you have them. The first thing is, when you're thinking about your business, what's your destination? Another way to think of that: what do you want your company to look like when you're finished with it at age 65 or 75 or 85 or whatever? When you're finished in your tenure as a leader of your company, what do you want your company to look like? What kind of people do you have? What services do you do? What kind of customers do you serve? How are you viewed in the trades or with your trade partners and among your vendors? Those kinds of things. What do you want your company to look like when you're finished with it? Okay? Second question: how will you get there? It's simple but profound, isn't it? What does the journey look like? And one hint, I think, is that you've got to have the right people. You know, that was one of Jim Collins' things. You got to have the right people on your bus, and you've got to help them get into the right seats. And then those people will help you drive the bus. That's one thing that strikes me about our members, is they struggle to get the right people on their teams and the right people in the right seats on their bus. Those that are better at attracting the great people go to new heights. Those that struggle with it, can't let go of the reins, can't trust other people, can't delegate responsibility, their jobs continue to be 80-hour-a-week jobs, and they keep having to pedal that bicycle harder and harder and harder. So how are you going to get there? How are you going to attract the kind of people that you need? And what's your plan look like? The third question: what's your timeline? We all have a timeline. One of our members wrote earlier in an email to me that we all have a shelf life. and that's absolutely true. We all have a shelf life. So you've got to put a timeline to this. Every single one of your projects has a timeline. Why would you not associate a timeline with your stewardship of your company? So what's your destination? How will you get there? And what's your timeline? And if you think about putting those 3 questions together, what Arlen is advocating is the same thing that Dennis and I always advocate, and you've got to be planful. You've got to build out your plans going forward. Great things happen to people in life, but better things happen to people who plan. Get your plans together. It's the right time of the year to be thinking about that as you head into 2023 and beyond. So I'd like to hear from you. What works for you? What questions have you learned over the years that have had impact, lasting impact in your life and in your professional life? This is Wayne Rivers at FBI. We build better contractors.